Aubry Bracco just won Survivor 50 and $2 million, cementing herself as one of the greatest players in the show's history. After 4 seasons, 3 Final 5 finishes, and being the runner-up once before, Aubry finally got her win on the most important season of all, the 50th. This is the redemption story Survivor fans have been waiting for. This is the legend becoming complete. Let's break down how Aubry went from being robbed in Khao Rang to winning the biggest season in Survivor history. Aubry Bracco cemented herself as a Survivor legend before season 50. She furthered that claim during the benchmark season, winning the title of sole survivor and the $2 million cash prize. $2 million! That's double the normal $1 million prize, because this was Survivor 50, the biggest, most important season in the show's 26-year history. Let's start with who Aubry is, because if you're not a hardcore Survivor fan, you might not know her story. Aubry was born November 14, 1985, making her 40 years old. She's from Hampton Falls, New Hampshire, though she's also lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and Los Angeles. She works in marketing in her regular life, but in the Survivor world, she's a strategic mastermind. Aubry is no stranger to Survivor. She competed on Khao Rang, Game Changers, Edge of Extinction, and Season 50, so this was her 4th time playing. 4 seasons! That's rare air. Most Survivor players get 1 shot. Some get 2. Very few get 3 or 4 chances to play. And here's what makes Aubry's story so compelling. She has made it to Final 5 3 times in 4 seasons. She was the runner-up in Khao Rang, won Season 50, and finished 5th on Game Changers. That track record shows you how good she is. She consistently makes it deep into the game. She's not a first-boot player. She's not someone who gets voted out mid-merge. She's a threat who makes it to the end. But until Survivor 50, she hadn't won, and that runner-up finish in Khao Rang still haunts Survivor fans who think Aubry was robbed. Let's talk about that season, because it's essential to understanding why this Survivor 50 win is so meaningful. Survivor Khao Rang aired in 2016. Aubry played an incredible strategic game. She orchestrated blindsides, she navigated alliances, she was in control of the game for most of the season, and then she got to Final Tribal Council and lost to Michelle Fitzgerald in a 5-2-0 vote. Survivor fans were outraged. They thought Aubry clearly played a better game than Michelle. They thought the jury made the wrong decision. The debate about whether Michelle or Aubry deserved to win Khao Rang has raged for 10 years now. It's one of the most controversial finishes in Survivor history. Michelle won because the jury liked her more personally and thought she played a better social game. Aubry lost because the jury respected her strategic game but didn't necessarily enjoy being on the receiving end of her moves. That's the harsh reality of Survivor. Sometimes the best strategic player doesn't win because the jury votes emotionally. So Aubry left Khao Rang as the robbed goddess in the eyes of fans, the player who should have won but didn't, and that label followed her through her next 2 seasons. In Game Changers, she finished 5th. She made it far, but couldn't get to the end. In Edge of Extinction, she didn't make it as far. Each time she came back, she was a bigger and bigger target because of her reputation as a strategic threat. And then came Survivor 50, the golden season, the anniversary season, the season that brought back legends and all-stars and players who had unfinished business. Aubry was one of those players with unfinished business. She'd never won, she'd been the runner-up, she'd been 5th twice. She'd proven she could get close to the end, but not quite sealed the deal. Survivor 50 was her chance to finally complete the story. And she did it, against what was probably the toughest competition in Survivor history, because Survivor 50 wasn't filled with random players or newbies. This was an all-returnee season, featuring some of the best players the game has ever seen, and Aubry beat them all. The $2 million prize was fitting for the 50th season, double the normal prize, higher stakes, more pressure, more reason for every player to be cutthroat and ruthless, and in that environment, Aubry thrived. What makes Aubry such a great Survivor player? She's strategic but not obvious, she's social but not fake, she can win challenges when she needs to but doesn't dominate physically and paint a target on her back, she adapts to whatever the game throws at her. In Cow Wrong, she was in control but couldn't close it out at Final Tribal. In Survivor 50, she clearly learned from that mistake. She managed the jury better. She made sure people liked her even when she was making big moves against them. She played a more complete game. 40 years old, fourth time playing, finally winning. That's a redemption arc for the ages. That's a player who refused to give up, who kept coming back, who knew she could win if given the right opportunity. The fact that she won on Survivor 50, not just any season, but the milestone season, makes it even sweeter. This wasn't some forgettable mid-tier season that people will forget about in a few years. This was the 50th season, the celebration of everything Survivor has been for over 2 decades, and Aubry won it. She joins an elite club of players who have won Survivor, but more importantly, she joins the even more elite club of players who came back multiple times and finally won. Players like Sandra Diaz-Twine, who won twice, players like Tony Vlachos, who won on his 3rd try. Aubry is now in that conversation as one of the greats. The money is life-changing too, $2 million. After taxes, that's still over $1 million in her pocket. For someone who works in marketing and has been playing Survivor off and on for 10 years, that's vindication. That's proof that all those seasons, all those close calls, all that heartbreak was worth it. Aubry Bracco now is a Survivor winner, not a runner-up, not a robbed goddess, not someone who came close but couldn't seal the deal, an actual winner, the sole survivor of the most important season in the show's history. For 10 years, fans have debated,